In 2023, a group of workers found a letter hidden in one of the columns of the National Gallery in London. The letter was written in 1990 by John Sainsbury, stating that he was absolutely delighted that the letter had been found. Why? I'll say that again. In 2023, a group of workers found a letter hidden in one of the columns of the National Gallery, London. The letter was written in 1990 by John Sainsbury, stating that he was absolutely delighted that the letter had been found. Why?
I have heard this story.
I knew you'd have heard this story, Matt, the minute it comes up. Bernadette, Annie, this one's for you.
Does it have anything to do with Sainsbury? Like, is there a relation with the names?
It's the same guy, I think, isn't it, as the Sainsbury's supermarket?
It is the same guy as Sainsbury's supermarkets. The same family, at least.
Yeah.
Does that have any relevance to this story?
In a vague and tangential sense, yes.
Okay.
Why would you... I've written messages in a bottle before, and my messages in a bottle always end with, I hope, I wonder who's reading this, blah, blah, blah. I hope you find this. Was he just excited that somebody found this? There must be a reason if this is lateral.
Just a sec. If you've written messages in a bottle, have you thrown them in a river or in the ocean or something? And
yeah, and it was when I was maybe 10, we did it with my class. We put it in Lake Michigan. And
did any of them get found?
No.
Oh.
Then it's just advanced littering then.
Yeah, it's definitely... in retrospect, I don't think that was really great, but we did it.
I don't know why, I just connected that in my head to, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Advanced Dungeons and Littering is just throwing stuff into a dungeon.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons is fun, but what if you could incorporate a little bit more pollution?
Yeah.
And a message in a bottle is definitely an item you can collect at some point.
Is it littering, though, or is littering just advanced archaeology?
Ooh.
Oh, no, surely it's reverse archaeology.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you're creating the midden heaps for archaeologists in 300 years, 400, 500, 1,000 years to dig up and find and learn so much about our culture that we littered all the time.
Future archaeologists, you're welcome. You're welcome for your job.
You try making that argument after you get a littering ticket.
I will, actually. Does it have anything to do with the conservation of the pole?
Oh.
Is it is it an artifact or is it part of the structure?
It is not an artifact, hidden in one of the columns of the National Gallery.
Okay, so what if he hated a piece of art? Hated it so much, and so he put the letter behind the art, and so he was like, yay, finally you're taking this down.
Now, you are most of the way there with that, Annie, but it wasn't about the art.
Okay.
Is it like an exit sign or something that doesn't belong with the art?
Why might they have discovered it in one of the columns?
In
one of the columns.
Because he hates the column.
Yes. The thing you connected right at the start, Bernadette, about the name, why might this be John Sainsbury? Why might he have an opinion on this?
Is it a column from Tesco?
Have you been to the National Gallery lately, Bernadette? Yeah. Have you heard of the Sainsbury wing?
Yes. Was it not the Sainsbury wing before?
Oh, it was. Why might it be called that?
Because he was a donor.
He was essentially the donor. He put an enormous amount of money, and the Sainsbury family put an enormous amount of money into the Sainsbury wing of the National Gallery.
And they wouldn't listen to him when they were putting the columns in?
Exactly right.
Disagreed?
Yep, you have absolutely got it. Sainsbury hated the false pillars that they put up. They weren't structural. They were just there to break up the space. And he somehow hid the letter inside one of the columns to be found when they were eventually demolished. And in 2023, the area was refurbished. They found the letter, and it says, "Let it be known that one of the donors of this building is absolutely delighted that your generation has decided to dispense with the unnecessary columns."
See, this was a Tesco agenda, though. They were responsible for the implementation of that column in the first place.
I just love that kind of petty and passive-aggressive note. It's like putting a Post-it note on the fridge saying, "Will you please bin the empty milk bottle," rather than put it back in the fridge, but for an architect.
It's like putting a stop littering letter inside a message in a bottle and then throwing it into the ocean.
Oh, that's art, though, isn't it?
Oh, that is art. You're right. That's art. So yes, this is a message not in a bottle, but in a pillar in the Sainsbury wing of the National Gallery, saying the donor was delighted that they'd finally demolished the damn pillar. The Lateral book is out now. Just click on the link to get your copy.